If you're a geek, have a listen. We got the news, this week's submission. Talking movies, games, TV, and comics. Turn it up, Feel the Geeks podcast. It's the Feel the Geeks podcast. It's the Feel the Geeks podcast. It's the Feel the Geeks pod. Feel the Geeks. You're listening to the Feel the Geeks podcast.
Hello and welcome to Field of Geeks, episode 222. I'm Josh.
I'm Bill.
I'm Mitch, kept in Josh's dungeon from farther below his basement.
Oh, yes. He's on his deathbed, everybody, so
Yeah.
send that Venmo to us, and we'll get him some help. But yeah, thanks, Mitch, for being on. Thanks for coming on with us and, ignoring that blood for now. You coughed up. So this is going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. Yeah, it's all good.
Way more important.
Yeah, of course, always. It's a harvest moon out tonight, guys. I just found out before we started, and I guess there's a meteor shower. So, yeah, we picked a good night to do this. Fortunately, I missed the meteor shower. Hopefully, it's nothing Armageddon-like, but
No, we'll be all right.
yeah.
Especially because Bruce Willis is kind of down for the count.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think he
sadly.
can save us.
God, don't you feel old when all these people in our heyday were,
Yeah.
kicking? And, man, we could have got so many more good Bruce Willis films. We're lucky to get what we got. But,
Well.
yeah, definitely explains those straight-to-video ones he did. So
Oh,
I think
gosh.
everyone felt like a dick after realizing
Like,
he was doing it for the
having
money.
Problems.
Yeah. And speaking of that, poor Frankie Valli. I know. You talk about this, Mitch. It's sad and also entertaining in a shitty, fucked up way at the same time.
It's like Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
watching him
Yeah.
perform.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I wish, and you never know. I mean, sometimes money can be mismanaged. And,
Oh, for sure.
and things like that. I hope it's seriously him just doing it for the love of doing it, not just because he has to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if you watch it, there's a couple of shows, and they've shown like newer shows and things like that where he's actually moving around and singing and stuff. And I feel like they kind of phone it in. And
Yeah.
I know that there's fans out there that want to see him, but it's very easy to see that it's lip syncing, and
Yeah.
you feel like he's out there for a purpose other than just loving to do it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling it's for the money. He's got a Las Vegas residency, and unfortunately, as we get older and know more of the business, sort of like these actors, we think are loaded, aren't, and sometimes they're paycheck to paycheck, like a lot of us. And when they get old and they overspend or badly invest in stuff, They claimed elder abuse for Stan Lee, even, which I don't know what's going on with that. It's pretty hush now since he's passed, but sadly, it's like we were talking about Bruce Willis. Obviously, they can get money doing shitty things, and people are paying to see this guy on stage, and
People can get good money for doing shitty things too.
I mean, I guess,
Unfortunately.
yeah, of course, yeah, and
I mean,
it's Vegas.
a couple of other examples, though, would be Frank Sinatra. I mean, that man was in his late stages of dementia
Yeah,
when
Yeah.
he was still out there performing, and he'd sit down and he'd be singing from paper and stuff, so
Yeah.
he wouldn't remember any of the words.
Yeah.
But I know that it uses a different part of your brain when you're singing and stuff like that, so you can still, remember some things. But I mean, you felt bad. And then also you've got Stan Lee,
yeah,
who I don't know if it ever came out as true or not, but like people were abusing him, not physically, but just
yeah,
his good nature and all that stuff. And you got the feeling of towards the end there, people were maybe mismanaging his money, so
yeah,
he
easily,
had to go and do these Comic-Con shows and all that stuff when he could have been living out the rest of his life. But I know that he loved the movie business, and I know that was something that he was excited about.
Oh yeah,
And
it's a
so
great time.
to see him in those cameos. I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah. He was. That was a very passionate thing for him. He
Sure.
Yeah.
definitely wanted to be a part of that process because for him it was, years in the making
Yeah.
for
Oh yeah.
There to be not only a good adaptation on film, but a one that had a good a good sized following. It wasn't just like kind of laughed at or dismissed.
It was unimaginable for him to get that opportunity. Before that, for all that, it was Mallrats, and I didn't even know who the hell he was because, of course, I wasn't like hugely invested in the comics, like knowing more of the ins and outs of it. I was just, kind of a glancer, if you will. But yeah, what a great legacy, and it's just sad. I don't know. Frankie Valli, of course, he sings. Grease is the word. Can't take my eyes off you. Begging, Four Seasons. I think that's his band or it's a song, but man, he's got a great voice. Or had a great voice. It's sad, but you know what? In the end, he's got to eat. And I get that. I totally get that. If that's all you can do to survive, fucking do it.
Well, you got to remember, he came from a time where he came from a time where a lot of music producers were just swindling the heck, and there's a YouTube video out there. I can't remember where it is, but it's Prince talking about how messed up the music industry is. And you hear these music artists selling like millions of copies, but they're making like maybe like 25 cents on the dollar for these things, and even at that they're barely able to break by because they've got then royalties, and all sorts of other things. And I think, as much as I don't like Taylor Swift, she understands the music industry better than most, and bought all the rights to her stuff, started remaking her albums, and under her new label, her own label, and then changing them ever so slightly, adding a new song here or there, so that her fan base would say, "Oh, I don't have that copy. I better go out and buy it because it's,
Yeah, she's very, I agree with that. I'm not a big fan of her music, but she is very business savvy.
Yeah, she gets that from her dad, I think, too, who huge investor, I believe.
And it all kind of depends too on the support system you have behind you. I mean, if you look at like NSYNC, Britney Spears, they were getting just royally screwed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they were getting hosed.
I mean, some might have been getting screwed by that producer guy, which is a documentary on Netflix I still got to catch, but holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you never really know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe he's like, I want to have one last run. Hopefully that's what it is. I hope it's nothing, sinister.
Not a little run, right? Just like a run Yeah.
I mean, he is short.
I kid. I feel bad, but again, like if people pay, and in the end, maybe people. I mean, I'm sure there's new fans now who've seen clearly he's lip syncing. Maybe they just want to be in the same room as him. Maybe that's the best they can get out of him. Is like, hey, I'm in his presence at least. Whether he's singing or not. But yeah. It's just one of those trends that's going around, and I feel guilty for watching it. I know it's just a messed up entertainment thing, and I mean, I wish him the best. He's 90 years old, so holy shit, my grandparents wouldn't do that at his age or at their age, whatever. But
well, they say the way to live the longest is to stay active, and
that's why we're gonna do this show until we're dead.
We're gonna make him do this till he's 90.
Yeah.
How the fuck could I relate to anyone by then? They're all dead probably, or.
Well, and if you think of everything, I mean, drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. I mean, he beat the odds. Mm-hmm. You look at some of these rock stars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They either have to get clean for their own health, or they end up passing at an early age and stuff like that. I mean, I went to Judas Priest this year, and that guy's like well into his 70s.
Oh yeah.
And I tell you what, you can't. He's out there. Every song change was a jacket change, and he was sweating up a storm. But he was out there singing, and his voice doesn't sound any different from when he first started singing. And that's because he takes care of himself. Yeah, he stopped drinking. He got smart about it, and he's been able to live on that legacy. For so much longer because he's just smart. Yeah,
stay active. Look at William Shatner. He's 92 or 3, and man, he's kicking ass.
Yeah.
Still.
You said he's 93?
I think so, or 92. Yeah, one of those. Yeah,
I know that.
And yeah, shit, I saw him over 10 years ago at a con, and I thought for sure that was pretty much it for him. But man, again, he gets paid, and thankfully he can still act and all that goodness. He's not phoning that in per se, but yeah, I don't know. We'd be lucky if we, well, who knows, by the time we ingest more drugs, the legal drugs, maybe we'll live over 100. So yeah, we'll be covering the Marvel Phase 20 or whatever the hell.
God, I hope not.
Well, they'll come. I mean, we've lived in Marvel, the Golden Era or whatever.
Yeah,
kind of for movies. So
yeah, then I realized that the other day. Actually, it was from, and quick shout out, everyone who's responded well to our new spinoff show, Number One Comics podcast, hosted by Jonah and Bill here. You guys were talking about the Golden Age with one of the episodes. There's 2 episodes out right now, by the way. Check those out.
We were talking about it on the latest episode that just dropped. We're recording on Wednesday.
Yeah.
The latest episode that just dropped today, the Untold Tales of Spider-Man. We were talking about that, like the golden age of comics, and kind of like when that 90s boom kind of hit.
Right.
Or when it was kind of, when it kind of hit and then
I'm thinking that
was slowing down.
That's with the films now. But I think they're getting, but they always bounce back here and there, and I think that's kind of where we're at right now.
Well, I think you kind of do this like up and down period with certain things. So
I mean, it helps refresh things, I guess.
We'll kind of see once.
I mean, helps you lose money, Disney. But yeah, right.
They can print their own money. They're fine.
But also, huge shout out. Welcome to new subs, subscribers on YouTube, everywhere, of course. This is wonderful. So
and thank you to my family over the weekend for subscribing.
They got the checks.
Hi, Aunt Nancy.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah,
you just made her day. I mean, when she hears this or sees this,
she's gonna love it.
Yes.
She's got all this time on her hands now. She's retired.
Oh, and that'd be nice. I don't think I'll ever experience that. Good stuff. But yeah. So yeah, of course we got some great topics Bill came up with to help us out. And
I can be productive when I want to be.
Of course. Real quick shout out. I probably should have saved this for recommendations, but I, in previous episode of Field of Geeks, I believe, or maybe before that, I kind of shit on the Cape Crusader, the new animated Batman show on Prime.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot of attention, but I basically stopped watching when they remade Clayface from the animated series.
Right.
Like, totally changed it up. And then someone on Facebook pointed out, because someone shared the Cape Crusader, what's your favorite episode or some shit. And I, of course, went off a little bit, not like angry rant, but I was like, you just lost me when you redid that. And he reminded me, like, it might have been another golden age. Like, there was an original Clayface before the animated series. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that kind of like, it was an epiphany, like, oh, well, maybe I should give it another shot. I did watch a few episodes before I stopped, so I might pick it up again, but I just wanted to put that out there. I was wrong about that episode. I'm not going to say the other ones.
Yeah.
Because I haven't gotten there yet, but yeah. But with that said, Bill, please take it away.
All right. So a new horror movie is taking the world by storm right now. You might have heard of it. Terrifier 3.
Yes.
Directed by Damien Leone. Took the top spot in theaters over its opening weekend.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Grossed $18 million domestically in its opening weekend.
Wow.
Highest grossing one in the franchise. So this is I know it says 3. Technically there's 4 if you count
All Hallows Eve.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Haven't seen any of them.
Oh man, they're so good.
I know. I need to.
Art the Clown is such a character.
Oh, that's that clown dude, right?
Yes,
yeah.
I know. They're over the top, right? Like, I've heard people throwing up,
yes.
passing out.
God, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's been people like I've purposely been avoiding trailers for this.
Good,
because I hate that with horror movies when they spoil all the good kills in the trailer. I have not seen it yet. I had the choice between 2 movies, and we'll get to that in the next topic here, which one I did go see. But yeah, it's been just getting phenomenal praise. So this started out as like an indie kind of project. The first film, like the actual Terrifier movie, had like a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
He did this all himself, practical effects, all this stuff.
Wow.
And to see where it's gotten to now, he's been getting praise from horror icons out there. They're just like, I think Kevin Smith you put that on our Facebook page, right?
Yes, at his theater. I think he hosted them.
Shout out to him, and it's gotten super popular. I'm very happy to see it. So it is just some little quick, now you know facts for this. It is in the running for being in the top 50 highest grossing movies of 2024. As of, I think it was Monday when I looked this up on IGN, it said it was currently at 51, which, like, just by a tiny margin.
Yeah.
As we're getting into this coming weekend, will be its second weekend in theaters. I'm sure by then it'll be in that top 50.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But just fun fact for everybody, the highest grossing movie as of right now, Inside Out 2.
That's crazy.
$650 million.
Wow.
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine close behind with $625 million. It is getting ready to drop on streaming, and I think very soon will be, or not on streaming, but it's
VOD, is that what they call it?
On digital.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
And it will be coming out, I want to say November.
Sounds right.
Physical release.
Oh, I can't wait.
Despicable Me 4, trailing way behind. It's at number 3, but it's trailing like almost halfway behind that. At $361 million, and Dune Part 2 is at number 4. Terrifier 3 was getting, for a horror movie, is really amazing to see that it's actually getting 79% approval rating from general audiences and 76% from critics.
Wow.
So
cool.
Yeah. As Josh had mentioned, there are some people that have actually been like vomiting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I want to bring that up because like there were so many movies that you'd see the trailers for, and they'd show people in the theaters and being like gasping and fainting and having to be carried out on stretchers and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it was all a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
Because the movies were fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And nobody thought they were scary at all.
Yeah.
I can't cite any specific references right now, but like early 2000s era.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They started doing that a lot.
The night vision shit.
Actually, I remember the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake they did with Jessica Biel.
Yep.
They said that same thing about it, and I went and saw it, and I was like, fucking kidding me?
People have weak constitutions.
Yes. Well, winter's coming, so snowflakes are about to be out. Okay,
like
so
more psychological.
I love Frozen.
Though.
Yeah, everybody loves Frozen. You know what? I got so fucking rickrolled by that movie. So
Did you let it go?
What's that? No,
let it go?
Not with Let It Go. Yeah, fuck off. No, but like I thought from the trailers for it, it was going to be about this cute little fucking snowman.
Yes,
it's going to be funny.
Yes,
and then I go there and I take my son to it, and it's a princess movie, and they're
god.
And I felt really fucking horrible. So hopefully I didn't scar him for life.
My kids love that movie, and it was so much hype.
Oh, my daughter did too. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I had a Frozen theme birthday party for her once.
I liked it until at the end where they're like, hey, we got 2 dudes who love this girl and she loves them. What are we going to do? Let's make this one guy a bad guy out of nowhere.
Well,
just so we can easily write it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he went to kill her. Like, what? Like, whatever. Okay, Disney.
There was like audible gasps from children.
Yeah.
In the theater when he was like, too bad nobody here loves you or something like that. They were like, oh,
yeah, it's
what?
like
I'm like,
the third act got a rewrite.
Okay, Disney, we're going dark.
Yep. Well, we got the third one to look forward to. Any year now, but I did see Inside Out too, and I did like it. I don't.
Liked it too. My daughter and I watched it on. It's on. not too long ago, dropped on Disney Plus.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course. Yep.
So yeah, it's a good one.
I liked it. I don't think it was as good as the first one, which I was shocked why it was made. It seemed like a simple story, which is fine. Like it didn't. The first one felt like a lot of obstacles and like, holy shit, are we going to get this achieved? And the second one just kind of felt it was quick. And
yeah,
but I didn't hate it. I thought it was. Yeah, I took the kids to the theater to see it, and yeah.
What was that one called Smile or something like that? I know you guys are talking
Smile
about.
2.
Oh, yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah. That does look
getting
good.
some good buzz for it too.
That's got more money thrown at it too. You can tell.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
I mean, the first one made
I think I'm
gangbusters.
really
You're fine.
Is it the same? Is it the same girl in Smile 2, or is it a different girl?
No, this is the girl. She was the Pink Power Ranger in the remake movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
She's a British girl.
She was
She was also in Aladdin.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It looks good. I watched a featurette on it, and I guess she actually sings. And
no kidding.
She has talent to do that, and she got to choose her character's look and everything. I think the art department did a great job. Like, it looks like an attractive film, and I haven't seen the first one entirely, but that I forgot about that one. That's coming too. I think that'll be a success. But yeah, obviously, Terrifier 3 is because of its budget, I'm sure, for one.
Oh my God.
But and we just had the whole crew, or the makers of the film, the actor and the director, writer, perhaps, they were at
Halloween Palooza.
Yeah,
in Ottumwa.
Oh no, I'm thinking actually they were downtown.
Oh, they were downtown. Okay.
At that one, it was an anime con, and it was huge. Like, they had all kinds of horror people here.
Oh,
like
wow.
Tons of celebrities. I didn't go. I wish I did, but they were there, and it's so crazy. It's like perfect timing for them to be out and about because their movie came out, and I want to see it. I almost pushed play the other day on like maybe the first one or so, but I was like, I'm not in the mood to get sick, and I think I just had some food. And
I will say I do like Terrifier 2 better
than the first one. Yeah.
But I love the first one was great though.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it was like, ooh,
yeah.
I'll watch them. They're good.
Well, at least one clown at the box office is successful right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, segue.
Oh man, that is such a segue. And
I know, right?
What's funny about that too is there was a guy like in Times Square dressed up as Art the Clown that was like walking by. They had this big display for Joker Folie A Deux, and he was walking up there and he like was pointing at it and like acting like he was laughing and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah. So at least like Josh said, one clown is successful at the box office. Joker Folie A Deux dropped from 37.8 million opening weekend to 7 million in its second. It's getting just dragged through the coals by critics and fans, not fans, viewers, I should say, alike. Previously, Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix, they did a lot when they were doing a lot of press for the first Joker, and since then they were like, kind of seemed like they were adamant about not doing a sequel.
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like, what do we really need to say?
Exactly.
In a second one.
Yep. Then the money truck backed up.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing too, is like Todd Phillips, they kind of shoehorned him into doing the same thing with the Hangover movies.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't want to do a sequel, but money.
Yep.
I'm not saying that's what happened with this one. Maybe it did. Who
it's
knows?
Still a mystery about all what was involved.
It did have a much larger budget.
Yes, because of the stars, for sure.
Well, yeah,
star power.
To have Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga,
Todd
bring
Phillips,
back the, most of the original cast.
Pretty much.
A lot of the original cast members.
Yep, pretty much.
So just with the unsuccessful opening weekend, Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix sat down with IGN recently. So they had asked Todd Phillips if this was like a kind of commentary, like the commentary on like toxic fan base and stuff like that, and it really wasn't that. Phillips had said that the effects of violence on people was the focus of the movie, and Arthur becoming kind of an unwilling celebrity. Not really so much a comment on toxic fandom. I think there are some elements of that.
Yeah.
But then Joaquin Phoenix had kind of defended it, saying there are several themes in the film. Each person can derive a different kind of meaning from them, and that's kind of the value of it. Both of them clearly had a lot of passion for this project, and I know Joaquin Phoenix himself also spent a lot of time working with Lady Gaga for the more musical scenes where they're both singing. He did his own vocals for this, which...
Oh, wow.
They actually, I think
him for that, but
I think he had to dumb it down too, like, because he did walk the line years ago.
He did walk the line, and he was kind of trying to, I think, maybe channel that and
sound like an amateur kind of.
Lady Gaga was kind of like, just
she
relax.
had to tone it down too. Yeah,
But so instead of seeing Terrifier 3, don't hate me. I went to go see this because, one, I had to see it for myself.
Yeah.
I also, Josh had made a comment that you had went to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're both of the same agreement that it was worth seeing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not terrible.
I didn't think it was terrible either.
I mean, it will be a letdown probably if you especially praise that first one, in some way, but.
And this is my thing. I usually, because Rotten Tomatoes can lick the underside of my left nut, but I don't really so much give a crap about reviews.
Yeah.
If it's a movie I'm interested in seeing, I'll go see it.
That's like The Crow with me. I was like, I want to see it.
Crow is a different story for me. I never got to go see it.
Yeah, I saved you.
Yeah.
unless it turns out you do see it and you're like, Josh, that was amazing.
You know what? You talk shit about Obi-Wan, and I loved Obi-Wan. So.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
I love the Cliff Notes version of Obi-Wan, but yeah.
I agree. It could have been a 2-hour movie instead of a 6-episode series.
Yes.
Anyway, I thought it was. We'll get into like more spoilery territory. I think Josh and I might do a review of it and put it up on the Field of Geeks umbrella.
Hell yeah.
But a lot of what I had heard about it, I didn't really agree with. Mm-hmm. This is not really a spoiler because you can kind of tell this from the trailer. There's a lot of people saying like, it's a musical. I really don't. Music plays a big part in it.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why. And you really have to kind of like read between the lines when you see the movie to figure out why it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could it be one of those things where it's just like they advertised it incorrectly? Because I think people got the moniker that it was a musical.
Well, Todd Phillips himself denied it was a musical, I think.
Yeah, but he had said that, music played a really big part in the movie.
Yeah.
But I think the kind of the early buzz, kind of the early leaks of, the stuff, like, especially when Lady Gaga got involved.
Yes.
I think is when they were like, oh, it's a musical. And Todd Phillips never actually came out and said, oh, yes, it's a musical.
See, I thought he did, though.
I mean, it's possible in some interviews
maybe
he may have
vaguely
leaned that
that
way. Yeah, I know we did talk about it in the very beginning, and
I know when we were first talking about it, we were like, supposedly it's going to be a musical.
Yeah, and I thought,
okay.
I mean, if anyone could do it, he probably could, because I see it as a unique way to tell another story. And I thought, it would be original music too, which it's not. I don't think anything was original, which I get time constraints.
Right.
And that's hard. You want a song. They chose these songs that kind of reflect where they were at in the film, I believe. I've heard more viewings, you get more out of it. It makes sense within the context of the film. I'll say that. Yeah. It's got something to say for sure. Yeah. It's just, Joker, I think, was such a high note. This, to me, is it goes lower. It goes down. But it doesn't mean it's shit. It's just. No, It's the B side.
Me personally, at minimum, I would give it like 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah,
I think it's not absolutely terrible.
So no. I would even go like, probably if I saw it again, I'd give it like 4 stars because there's probably some things that I missed.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd probably want to go and see it just so that they don't think of it as a total loss. I'd gladly go see it in the theaters again. You don't need to. There's certain movies where I'd be like, go see it in the theaters. You have to.
Yeah.
This isn't one of them. You can wait for it to come out on Max, but
yeah,
it doesn't. It's not final thought on it before getting into spoiler territory is that it's not deserving of all the hate that it's getting.
No. Like a lot of films that bomb, most of them are pretty decent, I would say. It's just...
and you can usually tell, too, because Rotten Tomatoes is like one of the worst about this, where critics will rate it, 27%, and fans are rating it 75%.
Yeah. This
is like a pretty even...
Yeah.
Like, everyone's kind of in agreement, but I didn't see really what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
This is the first... time they've used the DC Elseworlds tagline to it, which I have a feeling is to separate it, so it can clearly be separated from what Gunn is going to do with the DC universe,
right?
Which I think is all right. I'd probably expect to see that like as a tag on the Penguin or Batman Part 2, the Batman Part 2, or whatever, but. Yeah.
For sure.
Reportedly, James Gunn wanted to give Todd Phillips some notes on it, and he was like, no, stay away.
Yeah, I heard like he just dealt with the studio, not DC or Gunn per se. I think that was what I heard. There's so much press about.
Yeah.
It's hard to know what was true because a lot of people were like, Todd just phoned it in.
It's like playing telephone.
Yeah,
I mean? Like somebody says one thing, and then by the time it gets to 5 more outlets, it's totally out of context.
And you have critics or viewers who, I think some do overstate the artistry of it when maybe it really wasn't what they are seeing, but that's the beauty of film. Like you can interpret it any way. Like it's either it was designed to be the way it was, or it's by accident. People have taken it and ran in a certain other way with it.
Well, and I think a lot of what influenced it too is as soon as I like pulled up my YouTube, on Monday morning, there was video after video after video of. This is why Joker 2 bombed at the box office.
Yeah.
Joker 2 is a disaster. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. So I wonder if, like, some of those people didn't, like, look at all this and be like, oh, I respect that YouTuber. I honor that person's opinion. So I'm going to think it's bad.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it didn't.
Yeah. And all the ones that I listened to, like, most of them did not like it. But I was still able to understand where they were coming from, and I see both.
But at the same
perspectives
time,
there
was a lot of ones that I listened to that were like just totally shitting on it.
Yeah, just relishing in it, right?
But I'm just like, okay, but why didn't you like it?
Exactly. That's just like I'll never forgive Rotten Tomatoes. They had like a podcast at the time when BVS.
Oh God, we used to poke fun of Rotten Tomatoes so hard. Remember?
Yeah. BVS.
We're going to create our own version.
The potato. We still got to do that someday. I don't know.
Moldy potatoes.
I'll get, or like mashed or something. I'm a fan. No, but I remember when BVS came out and they wrote those coattails of just shitting on it, and they were like enjoying shitting on it. And I'm like, that is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you?
They were relishing in the moment or something.
Yeah, it's like they want to be part of the crowd. Like, this movie sucks. Like, did you go see the same one I did? Like, that's another one. Yes, the director's cut is much better, but it was not as shit mess as a lot of people, in my opinion. I know a lot of people watching or listening are probably not fans of it, but I get it. But
if you don't like the movie, that's totally fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I liked it for what it was.
Yeah.
It's not, I clearly understood that it wasn't a movie for everybody.
Yes.
But, to each their own.
Yeah. And look, this Joker film had a great cast. I enjoyed all the performances. I didn't feel like they were phoned in. The visuals were incredible. This has probably been shown from the trailers, but there's a beautiful landscape of, where the prison is in this Gotham or Arkham. It's got a nice big bridge like Alcatraz going to it, and the visuals of them coming into the city. My God, it captured the time period they're in, and it just was, I thought, amazing.
The cinematography in this.
Yes, yeah. The artistry's still there. Now the story might not be as strong, or it might be just as good. But yeah, it's a different story, and I guess unfortunately, after the first Joker, a lot of people, like they do before you make a sequel to something they love, have their own idea of how it's going to play out, and in the end, you could do that with this film too.
Expectations for
if
there was going to be a sequel were astronomical, and
because
well, they're throwing more money at it, it's got to be better.
The first film, the expectations weren't that high. They were very intriguing, but once it came out,
and
boom.
I will be the first person to admit that when I started seeing like costume design and stuff like that for the first one, I was like, this is gonna suck. And I loved the first one,
dude. The way they did his makeup, like that, brought a whole new look to the joke, like putting the blue in it and stuff, and then the nose, like really cool. And I think that was kind of an homage to Cesar Romero, is that his name, from the Adam West days, and the mask Ledger wore in Dark Knight. I thought that was really cool, really well done. And that first movie was super intense and violent, and I saw them both in IMAX. Cinematography alone is worth seeing in IMAX. But Bill said, you could totally catch this at home. It's still worth seeing. If you don't want to go spend the money, I know there's like a lot more films out there right now, and it's a long film. Yeah. And, it's not really an uplifting film. But the first one kind of wasn't either, unless you love anarchy, I guess. Which, some of it was fun for him to get payback, but...
there's a lot more, I will say this for it, there's a lot more subtext you have to be kind of willing to look between the lines.
Yes. Yeah.
For this movie.
For sure.
And
but what I liked so much about the first one, it was a more modern take on how could the Joker become the Joker, and it wasn't like a failed. Well, it was a failed comedian, yes, but it was society that made him that way, and it was the first time that they actually took a look at how Gotham could create somebody like that in a more realistic approach. It was
absolutely.
It was very much like if Christopher Nolan came in and said, "Okay, we need a true like backstory on how the Joker became the Joker, and not just like Heath Ledger's already the Joker."
Right.
That's why I liked it so much in the beginning. And it you're right. It could be a standalone because Bruce Wayne in the first one was considerably younger, and it didn't need to go any further than that. But that's why I like the first one so much. But you have to feel bad for these people that are working on movies a lot, because you got to assume that there's a couple of people that this is their first actual major motion picture that they've ever worked on, right? Yeah. And so
it's exciting.
They're literally giving it their all. Like, this is make or break for them. And then when a movie goes to shit or it gets panned or something like that, you got to feel bad, because the movie industry, I think Stallone was saying, is a 97% failure rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how many actors right now are currently out of work.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, when a movie gets made, that means that somebody drew the lucky straw, and you would hate to hear that a director phoned it in because he didn't want to do it, but there was money there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it does happen, but, also, if that's the case with Todd Phillips, I don't see it 100% phoned in at all.
Given the amount of passion that he has on it, and he could be acting too, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Given the amount of passion he has in the interviews he's done, and given how I've personally felt after leaving the film, I don't think he phoned it in at all.
No, for sure. But I do wonder, like, I think some of these directors come back not just for more money, and not to like sabotage the film, but it's kind of like, hey, you gave birth to this thing. it's either you carry it on or we give it to somebody else.
Well, and at least they didn't do like what happened after Burton, after Batman Returns, and between Batman Returns and Batman Forever.
Yeah.
It's not like a total thematic change.
Yeah. It's not jarring.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like they went from depressing to uplifting.
Now, the first Batman and Batman Returns is a little jarring in some ways.
Yeah.
Same director. But yeah, Highlander 1, Highlander 2. Not the Renegade cut. That's the one you want to see. But the original Highlander 2, like, same director, same writing team, totally changed what we came to know in the first film and just destroyed the whole mythology. But Joker 2, it was a good experience at the films, at the movies, and we'll do a spoiler on it eventually. But I think you'd like it, Mitch. Together both those films I think would make a good for a collector like some of us here, for sure. It's not one I would not get. I
have the first Joker on
same
on physical media. So I'd probably. I'm a completionist. That's not the reason why I would buy it.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it because I enjoy the movie.
Right.
And because I'd love to, at some point, be like, I haven't seen this in a while. I'm going to watch them back to back.
Yes. Yep.
I think it's actually when this does come out on physical media, it's going to be important to watch them back to back.
Yeah.
Like a one sitting kind of thing. I think it will...
Okay, so, and I know that I'm going to go off on a tangent a little bit.
That's all good. That's what we do.
That's what we do, man.
Yeah. Have you ever seen, have you ever seen a series where and I'm notorious for this because I'm always so busy I don't have time to sit down and watch. A series gets panned towards the end that it kind of trailed off, it didn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. But then, as a newcomer to the series, you fall in love with the first couple of episodes, you fall in love with the series, and then you're able to watch it all the way through because it's complete, like it's all done.
Yeah.
And you watch it all the way through and you're like, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
You're like,
yeah.
And that to me just tells me that when you have a series that, you only get one episode per week, it's easy to ruin the flow if you're taking it in a different direction, but that's the right direction because in the long run, the whole series, it makes more sense to do it that way.
Yeah.
But everybody has that goldfish in a fishbowl thing where it's like 30 seconds later they forget about it, and then next week they're like, wow, crap,
Yeah.
And that's the problem with a lot of these series is that they die because they take it in a direction that just doesn't make sense because we have such a short attention span.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can completely relate to that, Mitch, because I felt the same way with The Walking Dead.
I was going to bring that up. Yes.
When it was going through its run and I was watching it week to week, I was like, when I really wanted to see the payoff from the last episode and they went and did like a filler or something like that, I was like, this pisses me off. And then I got into later seasons and I was like kind of getting burnt out on it. And then I went back and I'm like, I'm going to start from episode 1 and watch it all the way through.
Yep.
And I loved it so much more.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a very important point you bring up. I mean, there is time that passes between the first Joker and this one.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to put things in a lot more context when people
back to back for sure.
See it back to back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think once it's out on digital, it'll get a resurgence and even physical media. But yeah, when to piggyback off The Walking Dead, when we first started this podcast, I don't know, Walking Dead might have been season 3 or 4, but our first episode we talked about The Walking Dead. We actually talked about what's his face, John Barenthal getting cast as a Punisher. That was our first episode.
Oh yeah,
that was almost 10 years ago, Mitch. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Next year will be. But anyway, I came to Walking Dead late, and I was able to watch seasons 1 and 2 all the way through, without any breaks. And I come to find out after that season 2 wasn't liked as much, but I had no problem with season 2. The way I watched it. Yeah. The way I watched it. Some shows, you can go week by week, but yeah, eventually The Walking Dead, unfortunately, I did get burned out. I will probably pick it up again, but there's so much I have to catch up on is the problem. It's so crazy. Yeah. But I know most people are dead now anyway, but I would pick it up again, I think, eventually.
I mean, the problem with The Walking Dead is it became very formulaic in its program run.
Yeah.
You knew they were going to meet a new tribe, and there was going to be some turmoil, and somebody within the group was going to die, or they join the group, and then they get eaten. I mean, the first couple seasons were good because that Herschel was in them, and I really liked.
I love Herschel. That actor too.
That actor.
Yeah,
rest his soul. I think he just recently passed, but great character, well written, well played, all that stuff. But it's very. It got you kind of into that thought process of like Game of Thrones, where you can't really fall in love with a character or like them too much because they're probably going to die, and then they bring somebody in and all that stuff.
Right.
Lord help us if Daryl ever dies, right?
I remember one of the season finales. They threw like fake photos out there, and one was Daryl being like hung or something. I'm like, no, it was fake. Of course,
we posted this article on our Facebook page, but James Gunn recently kind of made some clarifications regarding the future of the DCU. There was kind of an erroneous report that.
Like now all the projects
there's a lot of stuff in the works for DC, but like no updates are coming out or something.
Oh, sure.
I don't know. Anyway, it was some clickbait article that like totally torpedoed what his actual intentions were.
Yeah.
But so James Gunn has come out and kind of clarified. He made this on not on Twitter. What was the whatever? It was on that it was on some social media thing. Anyway, tangent, sorry. He has clarified statements that he made that every announced project is still moving forward. What he kind of clarified was everything originally announced was still in development, not that it's still coming. That's kind of like, what his clarification was on that, I guess. It all depends on the scripts, and that they won't put half-assed scripts, his words.
That's awesome.
Into production, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Of course, we've seen from, like, just the Guardians movies, I think, with James Gunn. He doesn't do anything half-assed.
No.
So, on the current slate, as it is right now, these are ones that are actively in development or production, have a firm release date. The first thing will be coming in December 4th or December 5th. Creature Commandos, the animated series on Max. The Superman movie, of course, we're kind of getting drip-fed some more stuff on that.
Yep. Trailer possibly coming soon.
Yes.
That's what they say.
But it's not coming out till July of next year. So we've still got some time for that.
That's gonna be cool. I'm excited.
Peacemaker Season 2 is coming out in 2025, which I'm very much looking forward to.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it has been
2-3 years, probably
something like that. It was like shortly after the Suicide Squad.
Yes, because that's how we knew Peacemaker, and they're doing another different number for the beginning of the show. The opening, which you know what. I usually skip after a while those openings. I think I watched every single one of those openings, those opening numbers. Well, I just got a kick out of it. It was just entertaining.
I have to say this as a wrestling fan, okay?
Yeah.
There have been so many wrestlers that, like, have tried to make the jump from professional wrestling to Hollywood that just totally missed the mark. The few examples of, like, success I can think of, I'm not going to name The Rock because fuck him. Plays the same guy.
Black Adam.
He plays the same guy in every movie. Come on.
Yeah, sadly.
Anyway.
It's always got to be a good guy.
Dave Bautista, I think, was kind of the first guy to really make that transition and, like, surprise the hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
John Cena's another guy who's done it.
Which, when he first started films, out in films, I was like, nope, this is a turd.
The first kind of around that time was... oh God, Daddy's Home 2.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Was like,
I like that movie.
Or no, it wasn't that. It was Trainwreck.
Oh yes, movie. Yeah.
I saw him in that, and I was like, he's just playing John Cena, but like a parody version.
But he's funny though in it too, right?
Funny,
Yeah,
but he was funny.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he was.
He was like Mark Wahlberg. Eat Mark Wahlberg.
I will say this though, James Gunn knows how to pick the right role for the right person.
Yeah, he does.
He really
does.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, because he's worked with 2 wrestlers now. Because he directed the Suicide Squad. I didn't realize that till now. Yeah, should have.
Yeah, like in speaking of Guardians, Mitch, he'd even said that, like, or we even kind of thought that maybe, or people thought that when Chris Pratt was
right. Like cast. we were all thinking, what, the guy from Parks and Rec? How can? And then it worked, but because he didn't have to change who he was. It was just he was that character.
He just had to get in shape.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna, he had 6 months. Well, something like 6 months.
It was
it
was quick. Yeah,
to prepare, and he put on. Didn't he put on too much muscle?
Perhaps.
No, he got. It was quite funny though, because if you watch Parks and Rec, you can watch the progression of him, and he actually, for a couple of episodes, goes overseas. And starts working for like the UK for some sort of volunteer program or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's like no longer like
he's not doughy
the fat
anymore. Goofy
guy. No, he's like ripped, and they're still trying to play him off as like slightly fat, so he's wearing like really baggy clothes, but you can tell he's like his face got thinner.
Yeah.
He's more chiseled and all that stuff. And it seemed like when he did that, his confidence came up somehow. And it's just like all of a sudden, he was still playing a goofy guy, but it didn't work as well anymore.
Right.
And so he got a little bit more serious, and it was still, it almost like his character got better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Yeah, and his weight fluctuated before the Guardians, but ever since Guardians, it's been pretty...
Yeah, because
steadily he's in shape.
Next.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And I've always thought he would be the successor of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got the comedic timing down.
Yeah.
Like Harrison Ford does.
Yeah.
He can also play serious as hell.
Yeah.
And I know that he would look good in the outfit.
Oh yeah, there's that fan art or whatever they did, fan photo.
Yeah, it was so.
It sold me. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was like the same guy that did like kind of the deep fake thing.
Yeah.
Where they put Sebastian Stan in as Luke Skywalker.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Oh, dude, what a missed opportunity that was or is. He's still young enough. They could do some Luke Tales.
You never know.
Yeah,
could get a
that's
reboot.
true.
Who knows?
That's true.
That's what they did with Star Trek.
Yeah, yeah.
Couple other ones: Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, July 2026, and the Batman Part 2, October of 2026.
Which I'm more excited about now because of the Penguin. I don't know if you guys have caught the Penguin.
I haven't. I don't.
Just wait till it's all out and then just binge it. Maybe. Yeah.
What I was planning on,
because you'll have a great time.
People say the Penguin's really good, though. I've heard a lot of good reviews about it.
Well, and not only talk about another surprising casting with Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Right.
When they said he was going to be playing the Penguin for when the original Batman was coming out, I'm like, you got to be friggin' kidding me.
Yeah.
And then, like, we saw pictures of... actually, it might have been... No, we saw... Yeah, we found out about his casting first. And then we saw the pictures of him in the suit. I'm like, that's Colin Farrell?
Yeah, I think it was...
Like, it was such a huge transformation, but he did a great...
Yeah, it's like a whole other actor. It really is. You totally lose him in that. Well, maybe the eyes are still there, obviously, but man, he's just...
I had this, like... picture of the like Miami Vice Colin Farrell.
Oh yeah.
When I heard the casting, I'm like, another guy that I thought played the same character in every movie.
Dude, he's ever since he got like clean, his work's been great. I mean, he had some good parts before that, but he got into that party phase where it was kind of like, all right, dude, we're annoyed with you, and now he's proven himself to be a great actor again. And Penguin, this series just totally goes more into character development for him, and it amps me up at least for the Batman Part 2 because right after the show ends, the new Batman movie, the timeline takes up. After. Yep, exactly. So it's putting in a lot of in between stories and characters we're getting. It's great. It's great. So definitely check that out on Max. I know we're kind of doing things backwards today with recommendations, but it's all good. But yeah, it's related to this, of course. The Batman 2. I'm excited for that movie. I really am.
Well, and really, like, the future projects are kind of going to depend too on how, not only how successful these ones that are set in stone are, but then, like, by the time we get to that point,
right,
are the cast going to be available? A lot of these ones that they have, like, kind of in the pipeline right now, they don't even really have. They have, like, the minimal amount of crew that you need set up for it. Another one, like the Amanda Waller TV series, that's going to depend on Peacemaker Season 2. Can't even come out until after Peacemaker Season 2 because that's the spin-off kind of thing, right?
Right.
Swamp Thing is another one. James Mangold's going to be working on that one. He's already got another DC project in the works and a Star Wars movie. So
busy guy.
Yeah, so they don't even know when his schedule is going to free up yet.
Sure. Did you ever see Ford v Ferrari?
I did.
Oh, I love that movie. I saw that in IMAX. It was so worth it. Oh God, that was a good movie.
I wish I would have saw it in theaters.
Yeah, sure.
Another one.
Yeah,
but kind of some ones that are coming up. You know, of course, that are less certain at this point, but are you know, on the timeline for probably 2027.
Sure.
Paradise Lost is a Wonder Woman prequel, a Green Lantern TV series, which
we got a cast.
Already done some casting.
Pretty much, yeah. What's the one guy who's from Friday Night Lights? I meant to look this up before the show.
Taylor Kitsch? Is that what you're thinking of?
No, he was the coach. This guy's the coach. He's a veteran. He's been in the industry for a while now. He had he did a
first TV show that he had called Early Edition.
Yes. Do you know the actor's name?
No.
It's okay. I'll throw the name up.
It reminds me so much of the same.
Yes.
Kind of looks very similar to the guy that played in Office Space.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
This guy, first, I guess it was offered to Josh Brolin, which great, but he's done so many big characters. Like, come on, dude, really? And he probably knew that too, so he passed on it. This guy, I think it's Kyle something.
Kyle Chandler.
Is that okay? All right, there you go. I'll still do the name maybe.
Well, then I think aren't we getting
Jon Stewart?
John. I just saw the casting for Jon Stewart.
Great casting. He's in the movie with Don Johnson on Netflix now. This guy, and again, I'll put that name there. Sorry, but
cool.
Great casting. Holy shit!
And who was it? Nathan Fillion's going to be Guy Gardner.
Yes, which he is. Yes, he's been shown in the Superman stills.
That's too bad. And I feel bad because he's always been Hal Jordan, and it's going to be really tough to watch him play Guy Gardner.
Yeah, and I would say he aged out, but this Kyle Chandler, right? You said, is
that going to be Hal?
Yes, he is.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think maybe they're still in talks, but this guy deserves to be a superhero. He's got the jawline. I mean, he's
he's definitely got the look.
Yeah, he's like Evil Dead. Who's the Bruce Campbell? He's one of those guys that
he's got that chiseled.
Yeah, they really deserve something like this. Yeah, I mean,
Chad look.
Yeah. But yeah, we got lanterns. That should be pretty fucking cool.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
because Green Lantern's probably one of my I don't have many favorites in DC aside from Batman, because fucking Batman.
Hell yeah.
But I'm excited for that project.
Yeah,
and of course, it's going to depend on which ones are they've got to kind of prioritize these two. If you're going to start a DC universe, it's going to be kind of like Marvel. You have to have the core characters, like you have to have the big three: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
those are going to be your three biggest priorities.
Right.
Of course, with Snyder's Justice League, we didn't have a Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart,
right,
or Martian Manhunter, that sort of thing. So I would think those are probably going to be the biggest priority with that.
I mean, with the Snyder Cut you did, he did film a Jon Stewart scene, but Warner's wouldn't let him put it in.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But we got Martian Manhunter, so, but yeah, obviously this is its own thing, but that's what the beauty is, like, Gunn's trying to do something huge, like, he wants to have, chronology, like, throughout, games, TV, movies, like, comics, I think, even. Yeah, so.
Well, it'd be like the same concept if the MCU was to be rebooted today.
Yeah.
They'd need to cast, Iron Man, Captain America,
right,
Thor, basically. Speaking of like streaming and stuff like that, I thought this was kind of cool, and it came about because of a leaked trailer, which Amazon was super quick about taking down. I wish I would have had the opportunity to see it, but it's a animated series on Amazon Prime coming out on December 10th called Secret Level. It's an animated anthology series with each episode adapting a story from a different video game, to include, a different game. I should clarify that because it may incorporate some other stuff in there too.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons, Mega Man, Pac-Man, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Sifu, Warhammer 40k, those kind of things. Wow. Surprisingly, there's also going to be an episode based on Concord, which is a super hyped game coming out for PlayStation that Sony took down 2 weeks later because it tanked.
Really?
Yeah, they took it offline. Just boom, gone.
Wow.
They shut down the servers, everything.
Damn.
But Amazon already had plans to go ahead with the episode. This was right around the time that Concord was getting released, that they produced the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've already put all the work into it. We're still going to do it.
Yeah, why not?
But the trailer, the biggest thing with the trailer leaking was the cast involved with this.
Wow.
So some big names are going to be involved in this, and keep in mind also it's animated, so
yeah,
it may be, mocap, it may be voice acting, who knows. Keanu Reeves, arguably probably the biggest name on there because he's riding high off of John Wick.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kevin Hart, Tamura Morrison, who played Boba Fett and Jango Fett.
Sure.
All the Fetts.
Peeps.
Ariana Greenblatt from Barbie. I never saw Barbie, so I don't know who.
I did, but I don't know who she was.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Merle Dandridge from The Last of Us. Claudia Dumet from The Boys. Victoria Newman. So sad he died. Spoiler.
I'm still in season 1.
And there's going to be a lot. The cool thing with this, too, is there's going to be a lot of voice cast actors that work in the video game industry.
Oh, cool.
So you can probably expect like Jennifer Hale, Troy Baker, people like that to be involved too.
Nice.
Super.
Wasn't there a YouTuber in like Free Guy or some movie?
Jacksepticeye.
Okay. One
of my favorite YouTubers.
Yeah.
Jack.
That is
to my channel. Love you forever. I'm just kidding. I'm subscribed to you, damn it. Sub for sub. Let's go.
Right. Follow back. Follow back, y'all.
Oh, speaking of, I don't remember if it's on Amazon or not, but Markiplier is another YouTuber. He's got a series, I believe, on Prime. Right
really?
Now. I don't remember what it's called.
What's it about? Just staying alive? Or? Oh, okay.
All I know is he has a series on some...
It's his couponing series.
I'm not going to... You know what? I'm not even going to give you the information so you can put it up on the screen. I'm just going to make people go look for it themselves.
There you go.
Fuck, you've got Google. You got smartphones. And just a real quick, I want to throw this out there real quick. So history repeated itself for PlayStation. The 30th anniversary edition PlayStation that you showed me, the gray one, looks like the PS1.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this was from the UK, so I don't know if the US had the same issue, but there was a retailer that had to cancel pre-orders because they oversold.
Oh, shit.
The PlayStation site put it up for pre-order on their website, and there's people waiting in line for this. Like, you had to, kind of take a number, wait in line online, basically.
Yeah. Wow.
And it said it was, like, sold out within just minutes. So...
Holy shit.
Same thing happened. Scalpers.
Oh.
Spoiler alert. Like, nobody saw that fucking coming. You didn't learn your mistake from last time. following this, so it went up on PlayStation Direct, which they're like a service you can, they'll email you, kind of like they did with me with the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
They'll email you and say, we have so many units in.
Right.
Names on the list. Here's a link.
Sure.
They're going on sale this day.
Yeah.
If you want it, come and try and get one.
Wow.
So they're the ones that released this in the UK. Probably, I don't know if they'll release it in the US or not. Multiple listings went up on eBay after the scalpers came and took them all from everybody. They were asking up to £10,000 sterling. So that translates to about $13,000 in USD.
Wow.
Yeah. Can I borrow some money? No, I'm kidding.
Fuck off. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, looks like Sony didn't learn their fucking lesson, which, as we talked about with the PlayStation 5 Pro coming out, they're money hungry fuckers.
I'll wait till I wait till the Pro comes out, and then I'll get that one, or the Pro Plus,
when the PlayStation 7 Pro comes out, you can probably get the PlayStation 5 Pro. By then, you'll probably have to plug the,
There's got to be something done about scalping, right? I mean, maybe eBay has to say no. You're gonna have to charge what they're charging in the store or something like that. Like you can't go higher. I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I don't. But it's fucking ruining everything.
I don't know, but it's
I know.
It's the thing is though. It's like it's the same thing with physical media.
Yeah.
But people are getting so comfortable with the ease and convenience of shopping online.
Yeah.
That like even when you go to Walmart or something like that to go buy groceries, half the shit's not stocked because they're like, you look at what they have in store versus what they have online. Yeah. It's a night and day difference.
I mean, I guess it's best to just be pissed off on the internet versus in person because people get killed when that happens. So over TVs and stupid shit like that.
It's one of those things, man. Like, come on, didn't we already learn our fucking lesson with this?
Yeah. I do have a win though for this scalping situation. I don't know if you recall. I think it might have been our last episode. I know it's been a bit. The Batman popcorn bucket.
Yeah,
I got one. So
very cool.
It's on the AMC merchandise website. You can pre-order it. At least you could like a week or so ago. So Joey and I both got popcorn buckets. We don't get them. Unfortunately, we don't get them till like next year. But once I do,
you got the pre-order for them. Or whatever.
Yeah. I got a Batman back here. It's in the box, but I plan to take him out and put him by the Signal once I get it. So
fuck yeah.
I'm not putting popcorn in that. That's ridiculous.
No.
But yeah. But yeah, damn. I don't know. Good job, PlayStation.
There you go, Sony.
Time to get the spray paint out.
I'm just gonna paint mine gray and be like, hey, here we go, man.
This is a PS1. What the fuck?
Fucking hell. All right, so reviews, recommendations.
Okay.
We kind of dropped a few of them.
Yes.
I will say one that surprised me. Agatha All Along.
Okay.
Really?
It's still ongoing.
Yes.
Right now.
Are you caught up?
I am caught up to the most recent episode.
Okay. And you're digging it.
But I was, I had some free time last week, so I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Check it out. I really like it.
Yeah.
It's not, they reference like Wanda.
Yeah,
Vision,
it's sort of a sequel.
But it doesn't rely heavily on it.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. No, it's its own thing.
It's a totally like tonally different from a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Which if you liked, let's say if you liked Werewolf by Night or you liked Moon Knight, you like this because it's a like genre shift.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But of course, Catherine Hahn, amazing actress anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
she's good.
Audrey Plaza's in it, and I can't get enough of Audrey Plaza.
She's good.
She's on my free pass list.
Yeah.
I saw the first...
I'll put my socials in the bio.
We'll do that.
No, I'm kidding.
I saw the first 2 episodes, but sadly I turned to some pundits I watch, and they broke down the other episodes. I will give it more of a chance. I didn't hate what I saw, but visually looks great, of course, and I love the cast. I really do. And I love WandaVision was still my favorite show out of the Disney Plus ones, and I'm anxious to get the Vision show. Terry Matalas, who showrunned Star Trek Picard season 3, which I hated the other 2 seasons. And I tell everyone out there, if you have not seen Picard, just see season 3. That's all you need to do. Yeah. He's showrunning the new Vision show, and I've got a lot of faith in that. But yeah, I like the cast and the concept, and it's a great time of year to put it out, of witches and and they got some like great imagery in that show. So I'm not done with it. I just got, just put it off, and I like the pundits I listen to, I don't 100% agree with them anyway, but it's still food for thought, and it's like, I get what they're saying, but it's like,
it wasn't one of those ones that like I had to see it when it came out. Yeah. I just kind of like put it in the back of my mind, because I had caught up on everything on Prime. I was behind on like Fallout and The Boys and all that. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, Agatha All Along came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I was just kind of like, sure. But I was pleasantly surprised by it.
I will not see The Acolyte, though. I will not pick that one back up.
I watched episode 1. I was like, fuck no.
Oh boy, that's less than I did. I watched, because they're premiering 2 episodes at a time usually with these shows. And I watched episode 1. Wow.
I'm done.
No, I don't care what people say. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we could do a Field of Geeks commentary on the whole series, probably. Dude, but
Jesus, don't watch it again, so I have to comment.
No, I'm sorry. I know.
No. That's going to be the fun part, though. I mean,
just shitting all over it. Yeah.
Yeah, and forget all this. I don't know. I know they're pointing the fingers at other reasons why people hate the show, but dude, the writing just was awful, and
it's dog shit.
It's terrible. It's someone brought it up on one of the people I listen to or something. It's like, it's almost like a Ponzi scheme just to make money. Like, let's just make something. or pyramid scheme maybe.
It's almost like what they did with Fantastic Four. Like, they made something shitty just so they could keep the rights to it.
Yeah, and at the time I liked that first film, and I know that's they're kid friendly, I guess, sort of. But and you know what? We got to talk about this sometime. Maybe we'll do a commentary. But I will say the Josh Trank one, there's some qualities in it I actually dig. It does go to shit because of the whole behind the scenes drama. Yeah. But it did offer something new, and at least when they transformed it, you felt like there was stakes, and it was So. But yeah, all that said, of course, I will give Agatha another watch, or pick up where I left off. Yeah. But anything, Mitch, you could recommend, or you're checking out, not to recommend, perhaps?
So, something that I found out that was actually pretty cool, and I've had a Roku for a long time, but I've got the apps and all that stuff that I watch on a regular basis, but I didn't realize that it also had free channels. And the coolest thing that I found are actually 2 shows. I love the original English Top Gear, which is one of my favorite shows ever. Yes. And then I also found out that they have a Mystery Science Theater 3000 continual live show of all their shows. Oh wow! And I tell you what, guys, if I can't find anything else on, I'll watch those 2 things. Yeah. And I'm laughing my butt off the entire time watching old Mystery Science Theater 3000s.
I miss MST3K.
Yeah.
And, I used to think I'd never be able to find it on a streaming service. No, they've got a whole Roku channel. It's free. So if you go and buy like a Roku stick or something like that,
I've got a Roku
the cheapest ones.
TV. Nice.
Yeah, just go to on the menu side, go to live, and then or you can just simply type in search and then just type in Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, that it's all. That's all they play is just those episodes, and it's all the way up from the oldest to the newest. Yeah, and then they just kind of cycle through. They tell you what's coming up and all that stuff, and it's absolutely timeless stuff. I mean, I love those episodes, and it still has playback abilities. So it's if you can't find anything on regular TV or your streaming service, I mean. Right now, I'm deep into the football season and fantasy football and all that stuff. But like on the downtime, like when I get home from a trip late at night, I'll pop on Mystery Science Theater, or I'll see if Top Gear is still on or something like that.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, check out those if you got a Roku. Check out those live channels. Check those out on Roku. It's actually really really cool.
That's cool. I actually, when you mentioned Top Gear, the Grand Tour, have you ever seen those? The Grand Tour?
Oh yeah, they're good, but they're not as good.
Yeah, they're totally different type of shows, right? I mean, they're.
Well, it kind of formed because there's a whole backstory to it, but Jeremy Clarkson kind of got into it with one of the producers.
Yes,
something like that.
I remember hearing that.
And they weren't. Those guys weren't actually making a lot of money through the BBC. The money that they made the most was when they did Grand Tour. They were making, I think, like at least $1 million an episode, if not more.
Yeah.
When they were doing it through the BBC, they were just making. They were making a decent wage, but they weren't like superstars or rich or anything.
Yeah.
But they were so well loved, so well liked, and they've tried to replace them. It doesn't work.
Yeah. They had an American version with Matt LeBlanc, I think.
They did, and it sucks because they don't understand. And that's the thing that Jeremy was. They did an interview with him like kind of later after he got on the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
They don't understand the premise of the show. It's gearheads.
Yeah.
That they need to find. It's not celebrities.
Yeah.
They need to find gearheads that joke around, play well together, but also know their car stuff.
Yeah.
Because those three guys, when they first came on, nobody knew who they were.
No.
I mean, James May came on in the second season because the first guy was just too goofy.
Yeah.
And then it all clicked. But yeah, that's what the show needs to run properly is just true gearheads that are just jokesters. So
well, I watched the final Grand Tour. That was the first thing I ever seen of these guys. Everything they've done, I saw the one for the road or whatever they called it. I loved it. I thought it was really entertaining. And then I got into Clarkson's Farm. Have you ever seen that one at all?
No, and I've wanted to watch.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's totally interesting. But I just kind of got in a rabbit hole of all that stuff. But yeah,
and so all three of those guys did stuff. Clarkson has his own farm.
Yeah.
James May has James May Gin, and he's got his own YouTube channel, which
Nice.
is absolutely hilarious. He did a Top Gear version of the new Tesla Cybertruck.
Oh.
And it's absolutely hilarious. You watch it and you harken back to the original English show. He just goes on and on about hating it and how it makes no sense to have a bar light in the front that doesn't project out very far. He's like, this vehicle's like way too big and bulky.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely hilarious. The other guy, I can't remember. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but he's still doing stuff. He's got his own bar and pub and all that stuff.
Nice.
But all three of those guys are doing exceedingly well.
That's great.
Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had to cancel my Cybertruck order. I'm kidding.
Oh my God. I mean, they're, what, $100,000?
Yeah, and you can't take them through a car wash without them rusting it, supposedly.
I tried to order one, but it wouldn't render properly.
Well, and he was actually talking about that. The interesting thing, and then I'll get off the topic. The interesting thing about the Cybertruck is that in order to make it look flat, they actually had to put a slight bend in the hood, so it actually bows up a little bit. Otherwise, if you laid it flat, it wouldn't look correct, and then the lines on the car aren't even lining up properly because it's so horribly designed. James May said,
"Oh boy,
that there's really no flat parts to the car. It's all bent, but somehow they kind of fit together." And so he just goes on a rant on that. It's absolutely hilarious. I'll send it to you guys when I get done.
Yeah, I watched, I don't know if it was a Fail Army, but it showed one of those Cybertrucks going through some rough terrain, and then it pans out, and you see it's getting towed by like a Ford F1, whatever the fuck. So that's how it's getting through the terrain.
I saw one too. It was like a short or something like that. And they're like, yeah, these windows are, shatterproof or something like that.
Oh, when they demonstrated it long ago?
And it just...
Well, those Rivans that look really cool and futuristic, you've probably seen those driving around a little bit. They have a four-wheel drive, like SUV version, but if the wheels get compacted with snow, there's something about that vehicle that has like an automatic lock system on the four-wheel drive, and you can't unlock it, so it just basically gets stuck in the snow, and then they have to basically put it on a bed, take it over to the dealership that actually works on those vehicles to unlock the wheel lock that's on it. So like, it's absolutely pointless to take it 4-wheel driving because you're going to lock up the system and you won't be able to drive it anymore.
That's awesome.
You just plug a fucking hairdryer into your cigarette lighter and
right. Yeah.
pray for the best.
That's like buying a PlayStation and just don't play any games on it.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So we got a few shout outs to do here. So of course, as we said at the top of the show here, Number One Comics Podcast, myself and Jonah, releases every Wednesday. We have 2 episodes out so far covering New Avengers 1 and Untold Tales of Spider-Man number 1. Opening theme song, again, made by the great Raven Xavier. Thank you, Raven. Also, good segue. If you're looking for some great music or a great podcast to listen to, go check out RaveX. You can check out RaveX Music, the RaveX Podcast. He gave us a shout-out and debuted our theme song. Well,
sweet.
Maybe not debuted it, but he played it on his
It is
his, but
podcast. yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it was really cool. You
it's
can
really
find
neat.
him at youtube.com at RaveXMusic or at Bandcamp, ravexmusic.bandcamp.com, where you can find his music, his podcasts. Also check out Choose Your Power, the greatest band you've never heard of. I better get a like on this from you, Raven. Or I'm going to find you. No, I'm kidding. I'm coming to Massachusetts anyway because I want to see your band play.
Sweet. Road trip.
Yeah. We should totally do a Field of Geeks on the road. That'd be great.
That would be
so
fun.
cool if they would like sing our theme song out there. No one would. That's when people break to go pee or something.
We could all just get up there and just belt it out. And Billy Creston Gaming on YouTube at Billy Creston. You can also find me on Facebook, facebook.com/Billy Creston Gaming.
Hell yeah.
Actually got a newer game that I pre-ordered that just downloaded yesterday. Well, yeah, yesterday. That I'm going to be putting up on there. I know what you're thinking. I am eventually going to finish
Concord.
Fuck off. No, I'm playing Fortnite. Fucking. Anyway, no. I'm going to be playing a 24-hour live stream of Minecraft to promote the Minecraft movie because I'm such a huge fan of Minecraft.
All right, yeah.
Minecraft. No, I'm kidding.
Watch that be amazing. Nice. Like we talked about last time.
Yeah,
that could be something cool.
You know what's going to be funny is if people go to the movie and it's totally different from the trailer.
Yeah,
like they're actually animated. That'd be hilarious.
Hey, they can lie. I'm cool with it.
They were going to do that for Deadpool and Wolverine. They were going to make it like a just shitty looking buddy cop movie, and then you go pay for a ticket, and then that's actually Deadpool.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
Anyway,
wow.
Tangent. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what we do.
No, I've got a new game I'm going to be putting up on there. I know what you're thinking. I have not finished Alien Isolation on there yet. I haven't. Well, other than our review of Deadpool and Wolverine that I did on there, I haven't put any gameplay footage up for almost a year now, and I apologize for that. I'm working on it.
It'd be worth the wait. It's all good.
But yeah, I've got gonna be putting out some new stuff soon.
Sweet.
Sweet.
And of course, check out Field of Geeks.
Yes.
Geeks.com. You can find us Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, of course, if you want to watch us on video, or if you want to just listen to us while you're jogging or doing something.
Right.
You know, obviously we're fitness gurus, so if you're not jogging, we're going to know about it.
Hey, good job, by the way. You just need 100 more steps.
You
got your goal.
Motivation. I personally am at 25,000 steps for the day.
Hot dang.
I will say something funny.
I'm kidding. I'm not even fucking close.
My wife works for the bakery, and one of her coworkers one time, she's like, I don't know, doing something with dough or some shit, and she's like, "Oh my god, I got so many steps in." It's like, yeah, it's because you keep doing.
Yeah, I know when like Fitbits first came out, you could like.
Yeah, it was a Fitbit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I made my goal.
What was it? No, we actually did a thing. I'm not going to say the place I used to work at, but they gave us a pedometer, and it was like one of those things where like if you did so many steps in the skywalk or something like that, and there was people that were just sitting there like going like this and getting like 500,000. I'm making a jerk off motion, Mitch. You can't see it.
Oh no, I believe you.
Hopefully they're not overlooking a school when they do it.
But they would do something like that, or they like put them on their bicycle spokes or something, and just like, like why have all these people getting like 500,000 steps and they're all fat? So
did it take your blood pressure too, or anything like that?
I don't.
They'd be like, dude, you're dead.
No, these were actually before like Fitbits were a thing. They were just
okay.
That, like,
I know you're talking.
Like, gimbal in it, so it shakes back and forth. It counts.
I think Weight Watchers used to issue those to people. Yep.
Right. So glad we talked about that.
Yes. Get back to running. Listen to us wherever you go.
Juan can help you with your fitness goals.
Hell yeah.
Probably. We'll
Coach
give you his
Juan.
personal number right here.
Yeah.
And call him anytime, day or night. He's available 24 hours a day.
1-800-COREY. Is that what the Coreys used to have for their hotline?
I don't fucking know. Oh, yeah. All Corey, all the time. Call and chat to your favorite Corey.
Jesus.
Dear God.
Oh.
It's like Bart chat.
Yes.
I didn't do nothing.
But yeah, we just filmed a Super Unknown. That'll be out in a week or so. So we got a lot of great content coming this month. Yeah, really cool. And of course, every week, every Wednesday, which is a new comic book day, you'll have a new issue of a show, Number One Comics. So, And we
have a Number One Comics page on Facebook as well.
Yes.
So go check that out. Of course.
Absolutely.
We'll probably post everything they post on there on Facebook. Anyway, if you're on Facebook and you follow any of us, you'll find it.
Exactly.
Also, with all the work Josh is going to be doing, we're hiring an editor. It pays absolutely nothing, but I will bake you cookies.
Oh. Magic cookies?
Special cookies.
Yes. Hire me.
And chocolate.
Your work done 12 times faster.
Hey, I have a producer name now. I don't know if you noticed on Number One Comics, but it's Jay Peters.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No, it's real.
I gotta go by
for this week.
Name.
For this week, I'll change it every week. It's like the Dana Carvey show. I'm gonna change it every week.
You know what? That's how I came up with Billy Creston. You just gotta come up with a stage name.
Stage name.
It's a Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey show.
The Mountain Dew Dana Carvey show.
Sponsored by Little Chub and Down There Wipes.
Oh
yes.
Man. Oh. We need to bring up the Little Chub again.
Oh my God.
Next time I'm there.
I'm ordering some of those from Arab Amazon, and we're gonna do an unboxing.
We're gonna have an eating contest.
Gonna be like 50 years old and use them as paperweights.
With gout.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, thanks, Bill, for getting the topics together. This was a great show, Mitch. Yeah, I know. I got a McDonald's cup. Here's a collector's cup.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
sweet.
It's got that condensation. You can't get it just anywhere. It's pretty cool. It's got a scan feature on it too.
Code. If you go to that website, you'll get diabetes.
Too late. Well, with that said, I'm Josh.
I'm Bill.
On that note,
I'm Mitch.
Take care, and you take care of yourself, Mitch.
It will do, guys. Thanks again.
All right, see you, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
And joining us from his deathbed I fucked that up, Mitch. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Go ahead, do it.